What's up, guys? Welcome to Silva Linings Playbook, the sports podcast nobody's watching and nobody asked for. But if you did find this podcast, click the subscribe button down below and ring the bell so you'll be notified the next time we post a podcast. All right, let's get started. All right, guys, so we haven't been here since right before the NFL draft. How did your team do on the draft? Do you feel good about the picks? The Patriots picked a couple of offensive tackles, which I've been saying Will Campbell's probably going to be replaced. Maybe one of these two guys is going to be the guy to do it for them. The Patriots have also had a little distractions off field with their coach and one of their new draft picks. So I'm a little concerned about their focus going into this training camps as they open up and the offseason training programs begin. So what do you think? How do you guys feel about your teams? Did your teams do well? Like the Jets seem to have won the draft everybody's talking about. Cleveland also had a pretty good draft. The Giants, I think, did well too. The Raiders look like they're set for an overhaul with their new coach. They got their new quarterback. Kirk Cousins is going to probably be the starter for this year. I would think for Mendoza's sake, it'd probably be in his best interest to sit behind and slowly learn the league and get up to speed. There's no reason to rush him onto the field, I think, at this point. And the money they're paying Kirk Cousins, it seems like he's going to be the quarterback. News this morning, Aaron Rodgers is back with the Steelers for 1 year. Not really a surprise. I mean, when they signed Mike McCarthy to be the head coach, and it seemed like they were doing everything they can to entice Aaron Rodgers to come back. It's really not a surprise there. Will they be any good? We won't know. We won't know until the season starts and they start playing. But Aaron Rodgers is back. So Pittsburgh fans, what do you think about that? Drop a comment below. Are you happy about that? Can I give, I know the draft is way over at this point, but I had a thought about the whole draft television process and even the scheduling release 2-hour program on ESPN and NFL Network. It's too much. Why in the draft do they have these guys so far away? I mean, as a television producer, I understand you need time so you can talk about these players and show their highlights and blah, blah, blah. But it takes forever. These guys are like a half a mile away from the stage, and it takes so long. They stretch this thing out so long. I just really wish it would be a little more condensed and move along. It's fun to watch, but it's also hard to watch at the same time because that process of these draft picks getting to the stage takes forever. There were some nice moments, like when the Steelers drafted the Navy running back on the third day, and he was there, and he went to the stage in his dress uniform, and the fans of Pittsburgh greeted him. That was a nice moment. Fun things like that. Kenyon Sadiq, the Jets tight end that they drafted, it was interesting, his introductory press conference to me, what clocked about that, he was talking about how Shedeur Sanders got sort of scammed and misled last draft, and he was wondering if that was happening to him. And I was just wondering if when the Jets came up on his phone, is he really hoping he wasn't being drafted to the Jets because they've been so bad, and he was maybe hoping he was being punked like Shedeur Sanders was. I don't know. Watch his press conference. That what I took from it is he didn't really want to be a Jet, and he was maybe not sure if they were giving a prank phone call to him and misleading him. But I think he was hoping he wasn't being drafted by the Jets. But I don't know. Watch it. Go watch it. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Also, the scheduling release show, 2 hours of looking at who they're going to play and speculating on the results. I watched about 30-40 minutes of it, and I had to turn it off because there was nothing. There's just all speculation like what I'm doing right now, which is probably why you guys are turning this off. But please don't stick around. I'm a fan like you are, and I'm just giving my opinion, and I'd share your comments below. Tell me what you think. The interesting thing that in this show is they keep talking about strength of schedule. Like the Browns supposedly have the easiest schedule, but it's based on the team's results from last year. But none of these NFL teams are the same. they've had turnover. There's new players. People retired. People got traded. People, they got new draft picks. People are injured, not coming back till a certain part of season. So there's no real telling what's going to happen with these teams. I mean, so many teams have new coaches and new regimes. So, like, the Titans are going to be different because Robert Saleh is now their head coach. They're not, you can't, and they got a whole bunch of new players from the draft and from free agency. So it's like, you're not really sure what you're going to get until probably, I'd say, after the first 4 weeks of the season, you'll start to see who teams are. Because those first few weeks of the season, I feel, are just like, they're really just preseason games, and these guys are getting their conditioning up. So the first month and the first week especially is very misleading of what your team's going to be. So don't get too excited if your team wins in week 1, and don't get too upset if your team loses, because they're just working it out. But I don't know, this whole process, they made this scheduling show like sort of like the NCAA March Madness bracket reveal show, but it's not really that. It's because you're just seeing who they're playing, and then you have a bunch of guys just speculating and what they think how it's going to go down. But, so many things we can't control. Players could get injured. Somebody who's on the team could play amazing in preseason and win a job that you never thought of. There's so many factors going into it. It's too early to get that excited. It's just nice to know who your teams are playing. That's really, really it. The one thing that jumped out at me was like the Thanksgiving Day games seem to be like 3 of the best games and quality of opponents and teams that are going to be relevant in the season. So the fact that the 3 games on Thanksgiving are all these high quality teams that are going to probably be making playoff pushes. Just tell your families now that, Thanksgiving, you're going to have it on Friday or going to have it on Saturday, because you should be sitting in front of your TV that day watching these games. Or if you are going to have your Thanksgiving dinner on Thanksgiving Day, eat quickly at halftime and get back in front of the TV, because these games look like they're going to be, they're going to be pretty big. I mean, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes on Thanksgiving night, that sounds pretty good to me. Sign me up for that one. Those games are usually pretty good. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Do you agree with me? It's a slow time for the NFL, and they've got a network, and now that ESPN owns NFL Network, they've got a lot of content to fill across multiple channels. So I understand why they're doing these shows, but like, you could also watch the team's schedule release videos online, which are funny. I mean, I'm mostly concerned about the Patriots schedule. You're concerned about the team you're rooting for schedule. Watching all 31 teams be broken down, I don't know. It could go faster. It could have been done in an hour, is all I'm saying. It didn't need 2 hours. And the draft coverage, too, being 3 days spread out, like days 2 and 3, there's no players really coming to the stage. It's just people talking like I'm talking to you right now. The first night is great because you get to see all these guys. Deadly long, though. So long. Although this year was faster than previous years because it seemed like the teams knew. They were picking their players pretty quick. But it takes 10 minutes for the player to walk from the back to the stage. So that's a lot. It's a lot. So, I don't know. Off-season training programs are beginning. Training camps are about to get started in a couple of weeks. I'm always excited at this time of the year. I can't wait for the preseason games to start, because then you actually get to see these young guys, these new players, and you get to see the new guys that your team's traded for. And they're in your uniforms, and you get a hint of what maybe your team might look like. But like I said, I feel like the first 4 weeks of the season now that it's this long 18-game season, these first few weeks of the NFL regular season are really like preseason games, because your starters are now playing full games and getting their conditioning up. So we'll wait and see in August when that stuff starts happening. We've got a lot of time to talk about. I'll be back between now and then. We're not going to just talk football on here. We're going to talk about the NBA playoffs. I'm a Knicks fan, very excited. They're going to be playing the Cavs in the next round. If you want to see probably the best playoff series that's going to happen, it's going to be between Oklahoma City and San Antonio. These teams are both amazing. I've watched so many San Antonio games this year. So much fun. That team is so much fun to watch. Definitely rooting for them. We'll come back. We'll talk more about that. The WNBA's 30th season got underway a week ago. A lot of great games so far. So many players traded places because of the new CBA agreement. So you've got a lot of new faces and a lot of new places. A lot of competitive games so far in the first few games of the season. Fun to watch. We'll talk about that over the summer. We'll talk about the NBA playoffs. And we'll, of course, talk about the NFL. And thank you guys for tuning in. And once again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Thanks for spending time with me. That's it for now. I'll see you guys in the next one.